Hey, what is good? Long overdue. The review of the real versus fake SoleFly Jordan 13s. Left is the retail, right is the fake. You can probably already tell by the size difference of the boxes, but this factory kind of went all out just a bit here. Here we go. Go ahead, have a look at the size tags. You see the differences. One has the price, one does not. The retail does not have the price on it as the fake, and this pair does. Also, you see the pull tabs are a different color, and the boxes are a different shade of this sandish desert looking colorway. Not sure why this colorway was chosen for the box in my opinion, since this is about fishing and so forth, but it's all good. So let's go ahead and get into the black light. And on the retail here, you can see it's got the RFID there. You see the squiggly little metal lines there under the actual label. And then we're going to go ahead and move over to the Fufu in a few seconds. And of course, as expected, you're not going to see it. Now, I will tell you, I have seen it on particular fake pairs, so just keep a lookout, guys. Be careful. That's why there's many authentication tactics here. It's not just one difference you see, and that means the product you have is fake or authentic. So here we are. Again, sizing is different on the boxes. As usual, for logistics, to keep the shipping low cost, they use a smaller scale box. You see how nice and clear the retail plastic is there as we're looking at the SoleFly logo. And as usual on the fake, it is a little bit ashy, but not as bad as I've seen others in the past, but still passable. This still can be passable as retail, guys, so be careful. Also, these box sizes, I'm a size 12, so that's probably why the retail box is that big. Now, if I was a size 8 or a size 9, the box would probably match the box of this Fufu, so keep that in mind. Also, I have to be honest, it looks like they got the internal tissue paper exactly the same as the retail. I have to be honest here. It looks a hair maybe more polished on the Fufu, but it's dead on. So very scary, guys. So you want to be careful out there not to get scammed with these products. You want to be very careful, but as you see it, so I got to give the Fufu credit. They matched that internal tissue paper. So here we go. We got the Fufu at the bottom, retail at the top. One major thing I noticed along the collar area of the Fufu, you see the sock liner doesn't start till further in of the collar. As on the retail, you see the sock liner right there. You see, the shiny glittery quilted sock liner above. So there we go, guys. Major difference right there, okay? And again, these are only things you're probably going to notice or see if you got the retail next to the fake as we're looking here. But other than that, we're going to go through some more differences here. Let's see. So the 23 hologram on the Fufu is a little overly sized versus here, as you see. Again, it's tough even on camera to see. In person, you'll see better, but the 23 looks a bit cleaner on the actual retail pair. On the Fufu we're looking at right now, it's just not as clean, not as clear. It just looks a little bit zoomed in a bit, but again, to each his own, guys. One thing I noticed as well, the Jordan 13 is overscaled on the Fufu. On the retail, it's your standard sizing. Here, looking at the quilted upper, as you saw the perforated indentations there, looking good. You feel the quality of the suede. Now, on the Fufu, it is a little bit different. Although, let me see something here. Yeah, looking at the indentations on the upper, they look pretty good. They're deep in, just not as sharp of a press as the upper is, but very nice. I'll have to be honest too, the Fufu definitely is the same materials as the retail. You can feel it. It's not much of a difference. So again, gotta give credit where credit's due. And I believe, I have a strong feeling by the smell of this fake shoe, it looks like it came from the same factory that created the DJ Khaled Crimsons. And here we go. Let's look at the tongues here. Now again, this shoe is overscaled on the fake to the left, so the tongue is a lot larger and longer. So this looks like more like a 12.5 size shoe from across that water, but we know how that goes. But as far as the textile print, the Jumpmans are, again, near, I'll use the term identical. A little bit thicker Jumpman on the retail to the right versus a thinner one on the left. Also, you see the laces as well. I think they got the laces down with the pattern texture and so forth. Again, tough call, guys. Now, the quilted internal sock liner is definitely a lot glossier, shinier on the retail pair versus the fake. And let's see, as we move a little further in the toe boxes, again, nearly identical, guys. Looks more of a structured correct print on the actual retail versus the fake, but again, you're only going to know this stuff doing these comparisons. And again, due to the fufu being overscaled, as you see at the top, the gap between the midsole to the upper quilted patch is a lot larger. And again, there I am going over that sock. Look at that. You do not see the sock liner starting from the, you see that? It's like you see a little bit of it starting at the collar there, but on the retail, you see how much of a difference it is. Also, look at the shape of the top of the heel pointing down. You see that there? You see that? You can definitely see a difference in the shape as you see my fingers pointing at that. Look at that. What a difference, guys. What a difference. So they still got some work to do across that water. That is a major difference right there. Wow, big difference in the quality of the shine and stitch. As we see, outsold, near identical. I got to give it to them. I got to give it to the fufu now. The shank, carbon fiber, feels like carbon fiber as well. Again, not as glossy as the retail on the right, but again, near identical. Looks like they got that UNC colorway tone just about right too. You know, right now we're nitpicking. We're nitpicking on that outsole, but they did a good job on the outsole. I'll give credit where credit's due. Again, that, yeah, see that sandy, you know, it's it's hard to explain, but it's like a microfiber material that I'm rubbing my hands on there. It's not suede. They feel nearly identical too, guys. So again, as far as the structure goes, you know, that's going to be a major difference versus the retail, but you're only going to know this stuff, guys. You're only going to know this stuff if you got the retail with it. And here's the tag. You see the dates of the manufacturer there that they have on the fake pair, and it will match the retail dates on the retail pair, excuse me. There you go. So they got that much right as well. Like I said, what's going to pretty much call this shoe out, not pass authentication, it's going to be the structure of that fake shoe. Here we go. Retail on right, fufu on left. You see it, this elephant print kind of design here, and the big difference that you can see is on the retail to the right, it's a bit cleaner, clearer looking instead of that haze over the fake. Looking on the rear of the actual insole, they did a good job. You know, the glue lines going all the way above aren't as high, but they did a good job. They pretty much got the color down right as well on that fake insole. Here we go. Internal stitching on the footbed. This is the fake pair, guys. You see how bold the numbers are and so forth in there. And now we're going to have a quick look at the retail. There we go. Not as bold, not as big numbers. Again, you know, not as overscaled. But again, not an easy tell unless you got these shoes together. And you're going to keep hearing me say that because when I showed this shoe by itself, people were ready to jump on it. All right, retail, internal tissue paper on the right, fufu on the left, and not as much paper. They will cut corners and save as much money as they can on anything having to do with these shoes, guys. And here we go looking at the left pair of shoes. We already know what to expect at this point, guys. So we're going to go over this quickly here, looking at the upper. And you see, again, there's that sock liner starting on the outer of the collar versus the fufu. And, you know, to be honest, there's also a structural difference on that collar too. It dips a lot further down on the retail than it does on the fake. So here we go. Like I said, you know, structure differences, toe boxes. Again, looking near identical. Like I said, I consider the fufu pair of this like a 12.5 size, maybe almost a 13. But, you know, again, I will give credit on the out. So they're close on it. They did pretty good on that. So it's tough. Just that shank is not as glossy as the retail pair. Let's move forward here. Yep, back to the toe boxes again. And again, near identical, guys. The materials feel the same as well. I've rubbed my fingers on them and so forth to compare. There's the SoleFly logo on the actual tongues, and a little bit thicker on the and sharper on the actual retail on the right versus the left. So again, y'all know how this goes. Can this fufu be worn on its own and probably not be called out as a fake? Probably, to be very honest. To the average consumer, no one's going to know. Authenticator, very different. Someone who's heavily in the sneaker game, who obtains these products, such as I, with retails, yeah, you're going to be able to tell. But as you see here, SoleFly logo there, stitching at the bottom. SoleFly there looks like a little bit crooked on the fufu to the left, but the sharper version is the retail. Again, minor details. I can kind of go back and forth with this, but this is what we have, guys. You know, what are you thinking? Like I said, my main concern is that dip on the top of the rear of the collar there. You know, major structural difference. Now let's get into the black light test. We're going to start off with a fake pair. We see some glue there. Whatever that solution is or whatnot they use, it's just kind of, you know, splattered all over the midsole, on the outer midsole there. Where there's some guidelines there where they cut. You see, and this is another thing about fakes, where that hologram is, there's always like in a ridiculous amount of additional glue there. It just doesn't look the greatest. You see the guidelines there on the upper, you see the guidelines there in the eye stay. So again, you're not going to see, you shouldn't see a retail sneaker look this messy under the black light, to be truthful. But it can happen. But to this level where you're seeing guidelines and so forth, yeah, you shouldn't. And you see on the fake pair as the outsole turns to that neon color there on certain areas. And we're going to have a look at the other. Already can see guidelines there near the cut of the upper quilted suede design. And we're going to continue to see, you know, a lot more, you know, glue spots and so forth. There we go. There's the outsole turning that neon color with the black light. So it may do the same thing on the retail. I can't remember, but we're about to get into that in just a moment. But you see the guidelines, guys. Again, classic fake. And now down to the retail. Here we go. And very clean. Midsole looks like it's going to have some of that solution, whatever they use for whatever reason it is. I don't know if it cleans something, but it is what it is on that. And as we move forward, again, we're not seeing any guidelines. We're not seeing a bunch of glue. And you see the hologram there. You're not seeing like a bunch of glue staggered in there or, you know, pushed in or anything like that. So they did good. There we go. There's some glue stains there, keeping that midsole attached to that upper. Some watermarks, and it does turn neon green as well with the black light from that color on the outsole. So fakes are there. You know, it's hard even to call them fakes to a degree, because a lot of the materials, to be very truthful, are the same. Again, thinner cuts, things like that. But you know, at this point in time with these real versus fakes, we know what time it is. And again, there's some more glue. Again, more solution being seen under the light, and but again, it is clean. I mean, to be fair, the retail spectrum is much cleaner under the black light in this case. And there we have it, guys. Sneaker Lover out.